Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Get up. We're on a suicide mission this morning. Good luck with that. And what I mean by that is, I don't think I have an appointment at this place. I think they told me a time to be here, and maybe they got an appointment time, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they got going on with this one. So the broker hits me up at about 8 o'clock last night, and I was supposed to be in here at 6 this morning. So the broker hits me up at 8 o'clock last night and says, can you be there at 3 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock? And I'm like, oh, probably, but I don't want to, you know? I'm out of Mountain Dew. That's the big problem. I mean, damn. Got me up this time of day and all I got is water in this cooler. Prime time pulling in over here. They tell you to find a place to park and walk your paperwork up here, and everybody just pulls up to the gate. Like they ignore the sign. They ignore the sign. Skylar Peters, what's up? What are you doing up so early? Are you partying? Are you partying at this time of day? That's what I figure everybody's doing. If you're up at this time of day, you're either pulling a reefer trailer or you're doing some illegal narcotics. And either way, it's fun. I mean, but yeah, they gotta. I mean, they tell like every truck that comes up here, Dirty Broke. I figured he would be in the house. Dirty Broke's always up this time of day. I take that back. I just said if you're up at this time of day, you're either driving a reefer trailer or doing illegal activities. But I got to put in fuel hauling in there as well. If you haul fuel, you're probably doing it right now. So shout out to those guys. Thanks to those guys. What's up, Scholar Peters? Dirty Broke. Let's ride. Yeah, let's set at the old grocery warehouse at the gate, and let's see what we can see. Right now, we got Prime at the gate. Right now, Prime at the gate. They just ran off KLLM. They told him to come back when they call him. Luckily, I got lucky. You know what I mean? I'm not sitting here bragging and saying I'm the great. I'm the lucky. Right as I pulled up, I mean, there's nowhere to park. There's trucks down both sides of the street here coming up to the gate. And they tell you, hey, park before you get to the gate. And it's like, well, where are you going to park? In the middle of the road? So Prime's backing out of the situation now. Not hating on the guy, just, I mean, at least he backed out. KLLM almost took the fairings off his truck trying to turn around right there. But they tell you to go park. There's nowhere to park. There's 100 trucks on this road. Yeah. Prime time is finding him a place to park now. He's going to have a tough time. I got lucky. I pulled up here. There was no parking spots. I pulled up and there was a truck trying to enter the gate right as I pulled up. And he was pulling out of the parking spot I got. So by all means, I flashed the old turn the lights off, turn the lights back on, let him know he could come on out. So I jacked his spot. Like I said, I'm not that good. I'm just really lucky. Most things in life work out for me. Pretty happy about that. Let's see here. Freight Dog. What's up, Freight Dog? I'm at Sam's Club. They won't answer the damn door. Sounds about right. I take it you're at a Sam's Club store, not at a distribution center, or that guy left his back porch light on. He'll realize it though. He's got a day cab. Yeah, water load. Yeah, man, those are fun. Direct to the stores. I used to do those to Costco. Water loads direct to Costco. Those ain't too bad. I mean, they tie up the time though. Like, I mean, Costco distribution center is way faster than Costco the store. Costco the store is a busy place. I mean, the distribution center is a busy place, but I guess what I'm saying is it's not staffed the way the distribution center is staffed. But yeah, appreciate everybody coming in. Hit that thumbs up for me if you could. Skylar Peters says, I'm not on illegal drugs. I'm doing food service. Ow! Oh man, dang it. 2:30. I always stay on I'm in the Eastern time zone now, but I always stay in Central time. So yeah, you 3:30 in it. You 3:30 in it. Maybe got some key stops. You busting out a few key stops this morning. Man, I've had the cops show up a many a day at a key stop on me. I am not good with your alarm system. You know what I mean? I'm here to deliver food, not decode the most sophisticated alarm system in the world. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I've had a cop show up on me a many a day running down that ramp. I had one place. I set off. I turned off the alarm, but apparently I didn't turn off the alarm to the back of the building. And right before I went to leave, I went in and used the bathroom. And like as I'm coming out of the bathroom, there's like 4 cop cars like speeding toward the place. And I'm like, I wonder what's going on. You know, like duh, they're there for you, big guy. This guy's gonna pull up, and block the whole gate. He's gonna block the whole gate. This place is a nightmare, man. Food distribution is like, it's pitiful. This is pitiful. Um, you know, I'm at a grocery wholesaler right now, and it is an absolute madhouse. They use the street as their parking lot. You know what I mean? This street they're on is a 1-lane street. There's trucks parked on both sides of the road. Um, yeah, it's a nightmare. But yeah, I kind of miss my food service days. You know, if Cisco would have treated me right and paid me the money that I was earning, uh, I would have probably still been at Cisco. You know, like I got nothing wrong. There was nothing wrong with that, man. I lost a ton of weight. I dropped about 40, 50 pounds in the first 6 months. I mean, it was ridiculous. I was sweating like a fat man in a polar bear suit every day, all day. But you know, like you had the aches and pains. You know, there's definitely some growing pains in food service, but I was getting to the point to where I was getting good at it and I was liking it. But you know, I kept telling the management, man, y'all got to hire me on. I can't. I got kids at the house. I got a house. I'm trying to, you know, like, you know what I mean. I got electric bills due. I got gas bills due. Phone bills due, and y'all trying to pay me $17 an hour. You know, it's like, hire me on, guys. Like, so I had to bounce on them. You know, they just kept putting it off, and in Minneapolis, that's their game. They start you out with a nice sign-on bonus. Like mine was $5,500, and they gave it to you. It was around like, I think it was around 1,000 a month. They give you, because you got paid twice a month, and they give you like $500 on each check, or maybe you get one extra check a month that was 1,000, and that was enough to keep me around. But when that dried up, man, I was like, guys, like I'm working, you know, 60, 70 hours a week, and you know, it ain't adding up, you know. And I would get like the productivity bonus or whatever that would bump me up about $1 an hour. But you know, I'm like, I could go sit behind a steering wheel all day and not lift one single 5-gallon bucket of pickles and make more money than I'm making here. And that's what I did. I had to leave. I was like, I liked it though. I liked it. I liked the work. I've never been afraid to work. Freight Dog says, yeah, water load, Freight Dog. They're easy. Yeah, those water loads, man, they're gravy train. Gravy train with biscuit wheels. I better stop talking like that. I'm going to get hungry. I ain't got nothing to eat in this truck. Should have stopped yesterday and got some groceries, but I was tired. I got up at like 4 o'clock yesterday morning, and yeah, so I did not put in the effort, and now I'm paying for it. And that little truck stop I stayed at last night, that didn't end well. I should have went in and got some Mountain Dew. Let me get that bottle before I forget about it rolling around back there. Let me get that out of the way. But yeah, let me turn my lights off. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no need to have my marker lights on. Yeah, I'm parked on the street, but there's street lights all around me. So if you can't see a white truck and a white trailer with this much light, I don't think my marker lights are making that much of a difference. Skylar Peters says, yeah, most of our stores are key drops. I run night shift. All right, that's the way to do it. Sometimes I like the key stop. Sometimes I don't like the key stop. If I've done the stop before, I don't mind a key stop. But when it's a new stop, man, I'm always wondering, like, oh, am I putting this stuff in the right place? Am I dropping this stuff in the right place? We used to have a Mexican restaurant that I did a lot. That was a key stop. I hated that place because their cooler was so small, man. They would stack meat to the ceiling in there. And, like, I wasn't going to stack that for them. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't stack. We dropped. And, yeah, they wanted it stacked in there. And I'm like, nah, it takes too much time. I'm not stacking that to the ceiling. 40-pound boxes of chicken. I'm not stacking them to the ceiling. I'm dropping them. But their cooler wasn't big enough to drop all the meat in. So I would drop meat outside the cooler and, just be like, hey, it's on y'all to come in and put it in the cooler. Cisco, Minneapolis is very picky about that. You do not stack their food for them. It's not in the contract, and it's against the union policy. So the place we used to have a place, and there was a lady there, and she would always be like, "Oh no, the chicken goes in the cooler. Chicken goes in the cooler," and I'm like, you don't have any room in your cooler. Your cooler's full to the door. What are you talking about? And, she would always play the card of, oh, we can't lift it. And I'm like, there's dudes standing around everywhere. Like, get them in here. Get their flip-flop wearing ass in here and make it happen. But yeah, key drops are, let's see here. Do you like food service, Skylar? Is that one of your, they're like, is that just tying you over to something, something else, or is that your career? Like I said, I'd probably still be at it, man. I didn't mind the work, honestly. And even it being in Minneapolis, it's like, it's cold, it's slippery, everything freezes in the winter. Some of them drops down them alleys can be treacherous, but I enjoyed it. I really did. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I got to get paid, and it ain't just for me. It's mostly because, I got a family. I can't show up for work at, what I was making, 10 years ago. It's got to be paid, especially being at a place like that. But they had been burnt. They told me right off the bat, that their hiring process was going to take a little longer, which I was fine with, because I'm like, okay, I give you 3 months, and then I gave you 4 months, and then I gave you 5 months, and it's like, okay, I'm about 5.5, I'm out. Like, but they had been burnt. There was a couple of guys that had got hired on to the union, and the union paid for your health care, your dental, and everything, free benefits, and yeah, it was, they'd been burnt. A couple guys that got hired on there went and had some major surgeries, stuff like that. Went and got some major dental work done and then quit. So, I get it, but you can't hold that over everybody else's head. Don in the house. Man, Don is 100%. Perfect attendance. Don is here every time. I appreciate that, Don. He has got his notifications properly set. Carlos Danger, what's up, man? Not much. Chilling here at the old grocery distribution center. It's a madhouse. It's misery, and I'm thinking I'm maybe on a suicide mission here. Not sure if I even have an appointment time. That lady gave me the paperwork back and said, I call you, you don't call me. So, it's one of them things. We're in one of those things. Let's see what it did say. I think my lumper fee's $60, she told me. So that's a good sign. At least we know, we're in the system at some point. Um, I guess I could go ahead and fill that check out here in a second. I already got a broker gave me a code on that yesterday. Said don't wake me up at no 6 in the morning, because originally I had a 6 in the morning delivery time here, and then he calls me back at about 8 o'clock last night and says, "Hey, you know, could you show up at 3 in the morning?" And I'm like, "Oh man, like 3 in the morning is like 7 hours from now." Because, well, technically it'd be 2 o'clock my time. He called me at 9:30 their time. So he called me at like 5.5 hours before the delivery and was like, "Hey, can you show up at this time?" And I'm like, oh man. And that's why I'm yawning, because I'm out of Mountain Dew, and I'm at a stupid grocery warehouse at what time is it? 2:43 my time. Ouch. Let's see. Skylar Peters says, "Yeah, I like it. I work for McLean, and we do fast food restaurants, good pay." Yeah, I looked into McLean, and I looked into all of them. When I left Cisco, um, and it kind of burnt me a little bit where Cisco wouldn't hire me on, because I went and talked to Reinhardt Food Service. The Reinhardt Food Service was really close to my house. They were paying, about the same as Cisco. They had a $7,500 sign-on bonus. And I called them and I talked to them, and the guy kind of gave me a bunch of shit because I was leaving Cisco after 5.5 months. And I explained to the guy, they won't, so it kind of put me in a bad position, because, they don't want to hire you just for you to leave. And then they're like, "Well, why won't Cisco hire him on?" And it's like, well, because Cisco's dicking me around. That's why. I actually ended up going to a place that they deliver roofing shingles. A place that deliver roofing shingles. I didn't do that job very long either. That job was a seasonal job, and I started it in the early spring. And I started there, and I even, I was like, I kind of thought it'd be a seasonal job because it's roofing shingles. But the guy told me when I went in for the interview, he was like, "No, it's, we're busy right now. Like, we're expanding our business." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." First week, I get like 25 hours. Second week, I get like 30 hours. Third week, I get like another 25-hour week. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm in the same spot I'm in with Cisco. Like, this place was actually paying full wage. I was making like $22 an hour there. And it was union. It was a nice little setup, but, like, I can't work half the year at, 25 hours a week. So it was a mess, man. Local work in Minneapolis is a crapshoot. It really is. Let's see. I went and talked to the people at O'Reilly's after that. O'Reilly's has got a distribution center up there. But they were like, I don't know, they're union up there, but their start pay is low. It's like $18 an hour starting pay. So I'm like, what's the union doing for you guys? Like, y'all are getting paid less than, Schneider drivers are getting paid more than you guys up here. And it's like, just makes me wonder sometimes, like, what's the union doing for you? But yeah, McLean, yeah, it's good stuff. I mean, if you like it, that's the key to it. Um, that's the key to it. You gotta like it, and they gotta pay you. We're not out here for our health. The money's got to be right. Um, if I'm in one of those jobs where I'm making $1,000 a week as a truck driver, it better be gravy. Like, it better be super easy. Um, you know, like, it's gotta line up for that kind of money, because it's just too hard out here. Um, but yeah, fast food be pretty good. When I was at Cisco, we didn't do much fast food. Um, you know, they had just lost a Culver's contract. I think that's how you say it, Culver's. Yeah, they had just lost that contract, and So let's see, we did Raising Canes. I don't know if you guys know Raising Canes. We did Raising Canes. They're kind of a chicken tender place. Um, they're pretty easy. They were mostly key drops, early morning. Just a lot of French fries, man. Oh my God, you get so tired of running frozen fries. Um, and I did a lot of university deliveries, like to the University of Minnesota. So a lot of chicken nuggets and a lot of French fries. I'm like, this world runs on chicken nuggets apparently. Because every damn school drop I did was like a pallet of chicken nuggets. Skylar, 80 to 100 a year. Yeah, that's about what McLean advertises up in Minnesota. So that's money. You know what I mean? That's pretty good money. Um, Nothing to sneeze at. Skylar Peter says, good money for only being 22. Yeah, that's a good time to start at a place like that. You know what I mean? Build that seniority when you're young. I started when I was about 34 when I started at Cisco. I mean, it used to, I was still young enough to do it. It didn't help. I wasn't in shape when I started, so it was a bit of a learning curve. That first 2 weeks was, man, like I was fixing like 4 or 5 sandwiches a day to take to work, man. I couldn't, and I was still losing like 10 pounds a week. You know what I'm saying? Like that first month, I probably dropped 30 pounds that first month. It was ridiculous. Um, but yeah, we didn't do a whole lot of fast food. Carlos Danger says the problem with food service deliveries is how rough is it on your body. The older you get, the more wore out you get. Like right now, I have a bad back, sore knee, uh, driving those old Sterlings. Yeah, Cisco, Minnesota, boy, they had some junk trucks, that's for sure. Half the dashboard would be missing, some of them old Sterlings, man, they shake you to death on the ride in. Um, like ridiculous, ridiculous. Um, but yeah, it's good to get it while you're young. There was a guy that started there with me that he was probably in his early 50s. I mean, he was in decent shape. But yeah, he didn't last long. He was like, I gotta get over, I gotta get somewhere else. I gotta get to FedEx or somewhere where I can just drive a truck all day, being a feeder driver or something. And that's what I had came from, was UPS feeder driver. I took a seasonal job when I first moved to Minnesota. Did that, and then when that was up in January, I started with Cisco in January. So I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed it, and you learn a few little tricks of the trade, that make it easier on your body. Um, but it's never that easy. I mean, there was hardly anybody at Cisco that did not have a knee replacement or a shoulder surgery or two. Or I mean, there were some young guys there. Were one guy went with me one day when I was like first got my own route. He went with me, and but he couldn't do anything. He was on light duty. He had blew out his knee, and so he just rode with me to kind of show me, some of his little tricks. And that was his route I was filling in on that day. So he knew the route, knew where everything was. So they sent him with me. Um, but yeah, it's rough on you. It is. I mean, that's why I say, Skylar's in a good position. Get that seniority when you're young. And then you get on them gravy runs when you're a little older. That's how a lot of them Cisco guys hang around till retirement. They get on those pallet drop runs, or those, they get on some of these little convenience store runs. And I mean, they're taking in 10 boxes per stop. It's just driving. It's about all it is. You get out, a lot of times they don't even drop the ramp. A lot of times they just climb up in the trailer and, set the boxes on the back of the trailer, get their two-wheeler, leave it sitting right on the back of the trailer, and they just pick it up, set it down, throw the boxes on, run it in, come back, bam, close the door, we're out. I went with a guy on a couple of those. He had a casino run that had a couple convenience stores on it. That was gravy. That was gravy. Basically, all he did was they gave him an electric pallet jack, and he made quick work of it. I think that truck behind me left. Uh, Maybe I should back up a few feet, make it easier on these guys to swing in here. Let's see how this guy in this big Peterbilt does. If he can make the turn, hell, everybody else should be able to make it. He got a big old long Peterbilt. Oh yeah, he got 10 foot. He ain't no problem. I ain't moving. It ain't gonna bend a bit nobody if I move. You know, the guy behind me was a bobtail, so it didn't really open up a lot of space. I guess if another bobtail comes in, he could park there. But you can't park in front of me. I mean, the no parking sign's right here at my door, so that's the only reason I thought about backing up, was to get the hood of the truck behind the no parking sign. But after I see that guy made the turn no problem in a big old Peterbilt, I ain't too worried about it, honestly. Let's see. Carlos Danger says, and I broke my neck back in November. Jeez Louise, man. Yeah, like it's one of those things, man. It's hard to explain food service to someone that has never done it. Um, my buddy was moving out west, and he was wanting to do like a Cisco or something like that, because they're always hiring. And I told him, I was like, I cannot explain to you like what that first week or two is going to be. And me and this guy, we've worked together at a couple places before, and we started out at a first place ever I worked with this guy at was it was a distribution center back when we were kids. And you know I told him, I said, as hard as you thought we worked back there at that distribution center, it was like a Home Depot type, like a home products, like a Home Depot, Lowe's. It wasn't one of those. It was a smaller chain. But I told him, I said, as hard as you thought it was unloading those containers of mini blinds, because containers of mini blinds come in from China. They're stacked floor to ceiling, and you got to hand unload every one of them. It don't sound like a lot, but there's about 12 sets of mini blinds per case. And, they probably weigh, they're not very heavy. They probably weigh 15 pounds, maybe 20 pounds. But by the time you get to that 10,000th, bending down and picking up that 10,000th one of the night, or going up top and getting that 10,000th one, by the end of the night, you got noodle arms. You know what I mean? That 15, 20 pounds is heavy. But I still say I'd rather sling mini blinds all day than to do Cisco with a bad back or a bad knee, man. I hurt my shoulder one time picking up. That's why I always goof on buckets of pickles. I reached over into a pallet. It was like in the center of a pallet to pick up a bucket of pickles. And if you're just coming into the show right now, we're talking about food service. I know a bucket of pickles has got to be a weird, it's got to be something weird just coming into that. But I went to pick it up, and I pulled something in my shoulder. And let me tell you, the next 2 days were ridiculously hard because I just couldn't do much with that arm. And, I knew it wasn't like something major because like nothing popped, I could still function. I just got it in the wrong way or something. So, let's see here. Matubi, I think I'm saying that right. Matubi says, is 50 too old to start this thing owner operator? Nah, man, that's not too old. Do you have any driving experience? Like, what's your background? But no, man, I don't think, I don't know. It's like, I know a lot of people put off truck driving until they get older. It's something they think about a lot, and then they put it off, and they think about it, and they put it off. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think 50's too old. Now, if you've got no driving experience, I will tell you this: starting out in trucking it's humbling. It is. It is humbling. I started out when I was young. I started when I was just turned 22. So I was too dumb to realize, how bad I was being treated. So I kind of went with it. But boy, as I got older, I'm like, I don't know if I could do this with uh, having some good paying jobs and some decent work along the way. Boy, trucking would be tough on me to get into. But no, if you're willing to commit, you got to rock it. Dirty Broke says, "Damn it, yeah, it's." Skylar Peter says, "Brand new Volvos, uh, Volvos and Freightliners over here." Yeah, Cisco. I was actually just at the Cisco I used to work at the other day, delivering a load of. What the hell was I delivering? I can't even remember what I was delivering, but I was over there delivering, and like I noticed they had two old Sterlings left on the lot, and everything else was pretty new. They're getting in a lot of those new Mac Anthems and a lot of those new Freightliner Cascadias. They're getting in a few of those. So I mean, they're working on it. They're getting some newer stuff in. I think they realized like that was a big part of like people not wanting to work there. Like, I mean, you don't want to put in a 12, 14-hour day in a junky truck that you fight all day. You fight the deliveries. When I say fight it, you have to work at the deliveries. You have to work with the customers. There's a lot going on. You don't want a truck that you gotta rewire the headlights before you can even start your route every morning or something like that. I had a truck that the switch broke like out of the dash and was just hanging there. And of course, nobody turns anything in. So I get the truck one day and I'm like, well, the damn headlight switch is hanging out of it. And I guess where it was hanging, it had rubbed a wire and shorted out the headlights. And, typical, typical. They're starting to bring in a few trucks here. I noticed a few of them starting to get called in. I just wonder if my delivery time really is 6 o'clock, and they just wanted me to hurry up and get over here for some other reason. But who knows? Who knows? I also wonder if this is one of those places where they want that lumper check before, like, as you come into the gate. If that's the case, I need to get that lumper check taken care of. Oh me, might need to take a nap too, man. This is ridiculous, ridiculous. Let's see here. Carlos Danger says Cisco also like to reward you with more work if you're a good worker. There is no way to win. Yeah, that's the damn truth right there. I mean, like, we had guys that would run out their 70 hours, and then on Saturday, they would bring them in on Saturday and have them, like, help load trucks, or like when I was new, my trainer was out sick, and they brought in a guy to help me run a route. And this was like my third week. They had already given me my own route. And they brought in a guy to help me because it was Saturday, and the bosses don't want to hang around late till Saturday, and somebody's got to stay till everybody gets back on Saturday. And Cisco, Minnesota don't work Sunday. I mean, nobody comes in on Sunday. So they want to hurry up and wrap it up. But that guy had like 70 hours when he came in on Saturday. I was like, damn, man, they killing you. But yeah, I used to get some crazy hours. Which would have felt rewarding if I was getting paid properly. But at $17 an hour, I'm just like, even when you work 70 hours, like, what are you making, $1,000? It's like, with overtime, maybe 1,200 on 70 hours. I'm like, dude, y'all killing me over here. And it was funny because I wasn't hired on. So even when I was running my own route, if somebody else went with me, they give the route to them. So if there was like a productivity bonus, I would get it like not even a full productivity bonus. It'd be like, an assistant productivity bonus. And I'm like, oh, you bastards. Like, I'm the one running around. I'm driving the truck. I'm the lead. Like, these other guys are just, sitting around, having fun, joking around, along for the ride. Sorry, I'm looking to see. I think I may actually back up. I'm wondering if I can make the turn. It'd be close. It'd be close. I think I can. I'm not gonna. I'm worried about it. I don't know why I'm sitting here worried about it. I'll figure it out. Matubi says thumbs up. Yeah, man. I don't know. It, like my nephew is like 19, and I keep telling him, I'm like, if you stay out of trouble and you suck it up for about a year and you go to work, when you get 21, stay out of trouble till you're 21. You got about a year and a little over a year and a half to go. Maybe 19 months. Stay out of trouble for 19, 20 months. You know, we'll get you on the right path. Like you'll be making some real money in a couple years, like real money, like stupid money. I can get you there, I promise. But I told him it's not going to be easy that first year. You're going to have to go with some big, like you don't have to go with a mega carrier. I always tell people say you got to start somewhere. Yeah, you got to start somewhere, but you don't have to start at the bottom of the bottom. Uh, there's some decent regional companies out there that you can get into right out of school that don't treat you like crap, that have a decent program. Um, you know, I tell people I worked at Avery, for a year and a half, and um, I don't know if they still do. They used to put you through school, and you come out, you got a regional job, you're home every weekend if you want to, you can stay out. Tons of terminals. And for a new guy, having all those terminals in your area, because they run like the Southeast and a little bit of the Midwest. They go up into Pennsylvania, but not very often. I ran out of Tennessee, and I typically ran about a 10-state region around Tennessee. I'd go up into Indiana, Chicago sometimes, not often. Iowa, I got out to Iowa a couple times, not very often. You're basically going to stay within about 700 to 800 miles of your home terminal. And the reason they're going to do that is because if you want to be home, they get you home every weekend. And I'm not saying it's a glorious 3-day weekend. A lot of times it's a 34-hour restart at the house. But, you put in that 1 year with them doing that, and, you can be an owner operator with insurance, because that's the key is, that first year insurance is going to be brutal as an owner operator. You could lease on to somebody if you could find somebody that would take you in less than a year, but most places want a year or 2 years for an owner operator. 10 in the house. Appreciate everybody coming in this early. Man, maybe I should start doing my lives at 3 o'clock in the morning. Maybe, I don't know. Probably not. But appreciate everybody coming in. Got 10 in the house, 7 likes. Everybody hit that thumbs up for me if you could. Push this out to a few more people. Matt's in the house. Matt says, probably a dumb question. Never a dumb question. Everybody's got to learn somehow. I was born knowing everything. I'm the one exception to the rule. I was born knowing it all. No, I'm just obviously I'm kidding. Uh, you know, uh, sometimes I hit myself in the forehead thinking I should have had a VA. You know what I'm saying? For you guys that are old enough to remember those commercials. Matt says, probably a dumb question. No, it's not. Says, what is a lumper check? A lumper check, I made a video on lumpers, my last lumper video, explaining lumpers. Lumpers, I'll just go into that a little bit. Lumpers work at these grocery warehouses because, like, the load I'm bringing in, I have 2 separate orders, and they're both multiple, like, line items, like, one of them's yogurt. One of the orders is a couple pallets of yogurt, but it's got blueberry yogurt, strawberry yogurt, mixed fruit yogurt, vanilla yogurt. It's so the lumper takes that and breaks that down instead of like, because it all comes in on one pallet in my truck, so they can get more freight on the truck. So when it gets to the warehouse, they have to break it down and separate it and put it each onto its own pallet. And they only want so many cases on a pallet. So like if I got a pallet back there that's all the way to the roof, and they say, well, that's got 800 cases on it, and we only allow 400 cases per pallet because it's got to fit into a shelving system. The lumper breaks that down for me. I don't do that. I don't pay for the lumper. The shipper pays for the lumper. So the broker gets the money from them, and the broker cuts me a check number, and there's different types of checks. Today, this particular lumper will be getting an EFS check today because that's what I have handy, and that's what the broker cut me. But there's different kinds, and these are like money orders that you fill out on the road. It's certified money. So basically, the broker gave me a money code, and I'll give them my driver's license number, fill everything out like a normal check, driver's license number, and then I'll write that money code that they gave me in there. So when the lumper, when they get done doing the work, they'll call EFS. There's a 1-800 number on the back of this check. They'll call, and they will verify that money code is a good code, and that money code is worth $60 because that's how much my lumper fee is. And it's a guaranteed check. It's what it is. It's like a cashier's check or a money order you fill out on the road. So that's what that is. It's just a way of paying for the lumpers. Now, my only beef with lumpers, a lot of people don't like lumpers. My only beef with the whole process is, why do I have to be the one to cut the check? Why doesn't the broker just, email the money code to the brokers? Or, like Walmart doesn't take checks anymore. Walmart is prepaid only. And I respect that because that takes the driver out of the equation. See, I have to be responsible for making sure I got checks in the truck. I got to be responsible for being able to get a hold of somebody whenever they get done with the work to get that money code. And that's why, like, whenever I have a delivery like this early in the morning, I get my money code the day before. And I tell the broker, if you don't trust me enough to give me the money code the day before, like, what am I going to do with your $60? You know what I mean? Like, you think I'm going to take this to the truck stop and get it cashed and go spend your $60 on, chewing gum? Like, give me a break, guy. You hired a professional to do a job. Give me the damn code the day before. And I tell them, if you don't want to give me the code, you make sure your phone's on, because I'm going to call you at 2:30 in the morning, and I'm going to get that money code. I'm not going to sit around and wait. I'm going to call you. I'm going to call your brother. I'm going to call your mother. I'm going to call everybody I can get a hold of at your facility. So that's what a lumper check is. Carlos Danger says Cisco don't care as long as everything is covered. Yeah, I got a little bit of that from Cisco, which I was surprised at Cisco being that way, because they had one top driver manager over the drivers. Under him, they had two other guys, and they, it kind of broke it down because they had I don't know how many drivers they had total, probably like 70, 80 drivers. So instead of having one guy manage them all, they had it kind of like where the three managed, they broke it down. And all three of those guys were former drivers. One guy had put in like 20 years driving. One guy had got injured and moved up to management after like 12 years. And then the other guy was in management, came to Cisco, worked as a driver, and got a management job. But he had did like 6 or 7 years on the road. So they all had a lot of road experience. And, we got us a shindig here now. It's a 1-lane road, and this guy don't understand. He's going to have to back up and get out of the way. He's going to have to, the guy pulling out of the gate should have let this other guy go, but He's going to sit there and back up and pull up and back up and pull up. The guy sitting here at the gate, I don't know if he realizes he can't, he's got to go park. He can't pull in that gate right now. He can't pull up in that gate. I should get out there and tell him to go park up there somewhere. Because he's trying to make the turn. I don't know. Maybe he's a day cab. Is that a day cab? If he's a day cab, I don't want to tell him, I don't want to go out there and tell him what to do, but you ain't turning, you can't turn in that gate right there. But who am I to tell anybody what to do, If I thought I would help him, I would get out and help him, but, yeah, I don't know. I think he's going to try the turn. He's going to try the turn. Oh, yeah, he's going to do the turn. He's going to get turned around, unfortunately. Too bad. But I don't know. He's not like an outside carrier. That looks like a company that hauls their own freight, because I think I've seen that company in the grocery store before. So I don't know. Maybe he's got another plan. That's why I hate getting out telling people what to do, because most of the time I'm the one that doesn't know what to do. So there goes Prime, the one that turned around with the first of the live. So he's already got a door. I really questioned that 3:00 door time I had, because that was 2:00 my time, and here we are an hour and 15 minutes in, and yeah, we still sitting here. So might be about nap time. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Cisco always bummed me out, because I felt like those three guys, when they moved up to management, they didn't have the same mentality, like to do that job for as long as they did it, and then like as soon as they got management, they were on management's team. It was like, oh, okay, well, you moved up to management, so you're not part of the union anymore, so you're officially management. So good for them, is what I thought. 10 in the house, 8 likes. Hit that like button for me if you could. 10 in the house is a great number, by the way. I guess this time of day is time to do a live, because I got no competition, I guess. Let's see here. The only thing that could make this any better is if I had some caffeine in this truck. Let's see. Carlos Danger says, the week I got my CDL through Cisco, they cut me loose on a 3-day route to Chicago that I seen once. Ouch. Yeah, that's brutal. That was another reason of my leaving Cisco, is because, like they had sent me on all these routes. Like my training was like 2 or 3 weeks, I think. And like, they would send me out with a guy for like 2 days. We'd go do his route. But, routes change every day of the week. One guy may do a certain area, but he does a different route. So it was a great experience on getting me to see a lot of routes. But the problem with the theory on what they were doing is they were sending me out with the senior guys. And yes, I was learning a lot about how to do the job, but I wasn't learning the routes that I was going to be doing when I first started. When I first started, like, it was university routes, downtown Minneapolis routes. And the senior guys had like the cushy little suburb runs, and the casino runs, and the, drive 100 miles out for one casino drop it, hit maybe 1 or 2 convenience stores on the way back, and that was his whole day. And I'm like, I'll never get to see this route. This guy's been here 35 years. Like, this route's never going to fall down to me. Even when he goes on vacation, somebody else is going to bid up and get that, like the guys with no routes. So I'm like, they should have spent about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks running you with, the senior guys, the guys that show you, hey, stack your 2-wheeler this way, set your truck up this way. That is great knowledge to have, but that last week they should have said, hey, now that you kind of know what you're doing, we're going to send you out with this guy that's been here for 3 months, that you're going to take his route because you're going to be the new guy with a route, and he's going to bump up to, he's going to go from downtown Minneapolis to a university route, and you're going to be the downtown guy now. Good luck with that. I didn't mind the downtown routes if it was a box truck. If you give me the 26-foot box truck, I didn't mind the downtown route. But when they would give you the semi and like a 35-foot trailer, it's too much for downtown. Like, it needs to be a pup trailer to go downtown, because like during a baseball game, like there is no parking downtown when there's a baseball game. And they would be like, we just need you to back down an alley right beside the ballpark while there's a game going on. And I'm like, oh, that seems convenient, because you don't think people park in those alleys when the game's going on? You don't think they say screw that no parking sign and park in that alley? You better believe they do. So, yeah, I don't know. It was a tough gig, but like I said, I kind of liked it. Yeah, and those overnight routes. See, Cisco, Minneapolis didn't have any overnight routes, other than the only overnight thing you could do there was pull a set of double pups down to Rochester, because they were the distribution center for Rochester as well. So, but they had their own guys. They had a yard in Rochester. Excuse me, they had a drop yard in Rochester, a little piece of rented property with with like one of those little construction office trailers on it. And, you pull your doubles down there, and, the local guys, they had local trucks that would come in and hook to the pup and go deliver, and then bring the empty pup back, rinse, repeat every night. The guys would go from Minneapolis with loaded pups down to Rochester, grab 2 empties, and come back. And that was their day. But yeah, no overnight routes, which I don't know if I liked or I disliked, because at Cisco, if I worked 5 days a week, I'd have 5 different start times, because I'd be doing different routes, filling in for different people. It was rough. Like, one night you'd have a 3:30 start time. The next day you'd have a 5 o'clock start time. The next day, 1:45, and it's just like, oh my God, like, can we not just pick a time like 3 o'clock? Like, can we all just start it? But I mean, I know why they done it. It was to stage people in and out at different times. That way, you didn't get 40 guys coming into the office at one time. Typically, like, they would start them like every 15 minutes. Like, there'd be a new 3 or 4 guys coming in, maybe 3 or 4 guys leaving. And it made sense. It was just rough on getting your rhythms right. My Tubi says, just trucking advocates going owner operator, right? Alf, trucking school. You agree? I don't think, let me just break it down. I don't think a lot of what that just trucking guy says is legit. I don't. I just don't. He's got some, I don't know. I don't want to get into it, but, no, you call and get those insurance prices right after school and see what it is. If you watch Team Tiny, Team Tiny, he tried to become an owner operator just like Just Trucking did, or as Just Trucking said he did. So Team Tiny, $60,000 for the first year of insurance. Like, come on. Like, it's not viable to do it straight out of school. I'll just be honest with you. A lot of what that guy says, I take it and I throw it right out the window. It don't add up. It's not like, I'm not hating on the guy. If he's what you want to watch, go watch it. But I hate clickbait, and all of his videos are clickbait. I can't stand it. It annoys the living hell out of me, because they say, oh, this video is going to be about this, and you click on it and it's something totally damn different, and I love the channel's called Just Trucking, when about 40% of it is trucking and 60% of it is other things like You know what I mean? Like, it's just not for me. I'm not gonna bash the guy. I'll just say his channel's not for me. And no, I would not advocate going owner operator right out of trucking school. You just don't know it. You just don't know it. Like, I mean, it's just me. Go to work for somebody else for 6 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year, and like learn what trucking is before you just become an owner operator. Um, because what are you gonna do? Buy a truck? You're gonna commit. You're gonna do everything. You're gonna commit. You're gonna buy a truck. You're gonna pay that insurance down payment. You're gonna commit like that, and you don't know nothing about it. So no, I do not advocate that. Go to work for somebody for 3 months. Learn what trucking's like. Um, you know, because like, what are you gonna do if you buy a truck and then you realize you're miserable? You absolutely hate it. Um, I mean, I ain't saying you couldn't sell the truck, and I mean, you lose some on the insurance down payment. $3, $4, $5,000. You know, like, to me, like, I don't know. I don't know. There's some stuff going on over there that ain't being told. I'll put it to you like that. It's like build your my one rant I will say on it. Build your trucking channel on trucking content, not on your wife's cleavage. You know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't know. It all annoys me. Let's see here. Uh, Lifted Official 83 says, at man, a lumber check is what you give to unloaders to take the product off your truck. Yeah, product, big part of it's the restacking. Uh, you know. Carlos Danger says, as soon as the Cisco driver becomes a manager, it all goes to their head and they forget about being a driver. Yeah, that's definitely what happened over there at Cisco, Minneapolis, in my opinion. They would come out and they would be like, oh, well, they would come out to one of your deliveries and they would be like, oh, we just came out to see, like, you know, see if we could help you. And I'm like, oh, is that why you came out? Right. You didn't come out to, like, monitor what I was doing, like, I don't know. GI Man says multi-stop loads are a no-go for me. Oh man. I don't know. A third of my loads are multi-stop. I like multi-stop because, like, this load I'm on now is not a lot of miles, but it pays really good. And, I'm getting paid more to set around grocery warehouses than I am to actually drive a truck. So, works for me. Chili Dog's up this morning. Good morning, Chili Dog. I swear, man, 11 people in the house. Like, this might be my new time. Like, this is a good crowd. Good crowd. Chili Dog says, what's up, my brother Cash? Good early morning to you. Yeah, good early morning to you, too. I can't believe I got this much energy on about 6 hours of sleep. Disclaimer, I did take a 2-hour nap yesterday afternoon. And no caffeine. I thought about, which I know they're just going to tell me no, but I thought about going up there and asking the guard, do they have a soda machine in there? And if so, can I go frequent it? But I would imagine with all this COVID protocol they got, they're going to tell me, no, thank you. You can go wait in your truck. I'm almost about to get on the CB and see if anybody will sell me a Mountain Dew over the CB. Chili Dog says, I'm not out there yet, but it seems common sense to get some experience under your belt before becoming an owner-operator. Yeah. Just learn how it works, man. That's the key. Um, you know, and like, I don't know. I question, I question a lot of things about that, becoming an owner-operator right off the bat, because, and Dirty Broke's got a good point. At least work through one winter first. Yeah. You don't want to go buy a brand new truck and then not know how to drive the sumbitch in the winter. Like, take a little guidance. And, it's a lot of that. A lot of these guys, they think being an owner operator is the pinnacle, and they don't realize you don't always make more money as an owner operator. You can make less money as an owner operator than a good paying company driver. Just because you own a truck does not mean you are guaranteed more money over a guy that works at a good place that pays good. Um, you know, Sit down, scratch out those numbers sometime. Uh, Paying your self-employed taxes, paying that insurance off the free market. Um, all right, had a little glitch there. I got to get some AC going. It is humid down here. Woo! Like, it's not really that hot out. It's just a dang humid. And my phone is not liking it. My phone is getting hot. Shut some of these vents, get some of this air to come out over here on this phone. But yeah, I mean, do what you want. I would not advocate being an owner operator right off the bat. Um, you don't know how anything works. Like, and yeah, I mean, you could pay for a coaching call from one of these other truck drivers, on YouTube, but how much do they really know? Yeah, man says insurance varies widely on four things: how long you've had your CDL, your age, your state you live in, your credit score. Yeah, correct on that. Um, if you just come out of truck driving school, um, it's gonna be expensive because you ain't had that CDL that long, more likely, unless you've had it and then you went back to school, but then you got no recent experience. Um, that's the fifth thing. How much experience do you have with that CDL? How long have you had it, and how much experience you got? Because you can. There's a guy that used to watch my channel. I don't know if he ever did anything or not, but he had his CDL for like 5 years, but he had never used it. And every trucking company was like, like the mega fleets he was calling, just trying to get somebody to let him in the door. Most of them were saying, like, no experience in the last 3 years, you got to go back and go back to trucking school. It's basically like the CDL doesn't even, I mean, I'm sure if you dig around, you could find a company that'd bring you in, put you with a trainer. But see, that's the problem. He was trying to just come back into, start trucking without a trainer, and I'm like, well, you never really did anything with the CDL, so yeah, you're gonna have to go out with a trainer. These companies, they ain't just gonna throw you a set of keys because you got a CDL. Um, you know. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, man says I'll add having a clean MVR is important as well. Yeah, that's another one. If you got a bunch of speeding tickets in your personal car, you best believe that's going to affect that CDL. It just is, like, because they're not stupid. They know, hey, if you're speeding in your car constantly, your mentality is you're probably speeding in the truck as well. Um, I always liked fast cars as a kid. Then I got my CDL, and I was just like, well, if I ain't gonna go race them on a track, I ain't gonna have them on the street goofing off, spinning tires, and going 100 mile an hour. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to have a sports car right now. I'm finally in a position in life where I could probably afford a nice one and not a hoopty one. Not one I go buy and then try to modify it from the ground up and end up with uh, an expensive headache. So I don't know. It's but I'm like, do I really want that? Do I really need that hassle in my life? Tim's in the house. What's up, Tim? Tim says insurance companies know the risk. If it's that high, there's a reason. Uh, what could that be? Yeah, lack of experience would be the main one. You know what I mean? Like a guy fresh out of school. I mean, imagine if you gave a guy fresh out of school, you know, like the insurance company would lose their mind. Fresh out of school, if you go buy your own truck, yeah, they're going to want a lot for that, man. That's a lot of liability in that. Like, it just is. Chili Dog says, "Hey Cash, I'm coming into the game at 50 with a lifetime perfect driving record, except for a no turn on red ticket when I was 16. That's probably off your record by this point. Is trucking going to mess that up for me? No, I mean, you may get some stuff on your record as a truck driver. I tell people if you don't get some tickets, you ain't trying hard enough, but that's not really my mentality. Um, I've had a couple tickets as a driver. I went my first like 10 years squeaky clean, and then I got a few stupid ones, and yeah, so I got a no trucks in the left lane. I was in the left lane. I was so mad at that one, man. I rode behind two trucks door to door for like literally 15, 20 minutes. And I was like, screw these guys. These guys are, like idiots. Would not get out of the way, riding door to door. So finally I said, screw it. I hit the blinker. I went to the left lane. About the time I got door to door with the truck in the middle lane, there was a damn state trooper sitting in the middle. Got me. But I looked into that law after that cop wrote me that ticket. I paid it like an idiot. I paid it. Never pay a ticket as a truck driver until your lawyer tells you that's all they got. I mean, run it to the hills. You know what I mean? Like, get you one of these. I pay like $18 a month for TVC Pro Driver. Have them fight everything. I don't care what it is. Fight everything. Hell, I had a parking ticket the other day I fought. TVC Pro Driver told me, just pay that some bitch. It's a parking ticket. It's $42. I mean, like, no, it's not going to get better than that. And you're probably going to end up paying court costs. And I was like, we pay it then. We pay it. You're the lawyer. You know what you're talking about. We pay it. See, have them fight everything. Because I looked up that law after I paid that ticket. At the time, I didn't have TVC Pro Driver. And this is not a commercial for those guys. But I would say get something like them, like equivalent. Them or equivalent would be my suggestion. Definitely worth the money. So I looked up the law, and the law said that you can be in the left lane if you are passing and there's no like other option to pass. And I was so mad at myself. I paid that ticket. I was like, oh, we could have got that thrown out because I was obviously passing. It made me so mad. It was like a $230 ticket or something like that. And then about a year later, I got a running a red light ticket on a camera. Yeah, Hannibal, Missouri is the butthole of the country. I don't care what anybody says. Sorry if you live in Hannibal. Sorry if your parents live in Hannibal. That place is garbage. They got 4 red light cameras in that town, and they are taking advantage of truck drivers with it. Because those lights go green, yellow, red. They don't go green, yellow, red. They don't give you any time to stop. And in the red light ticket, half of my truck is over the white line when it goes red. And they still wrote me the ticket for it. And I'm like, well, what was I supposed to do? Stop in the middle of the intersection? And in Hannibal, Missouri, those are criminal offenses when you do a red light camera. Most places, you can tell them to take that red light camera ticket and shove it up their butt because it does not go on your record. Hannibal, Missouri, it is a criminal offense with a camera because they have a police officer monitoring the cameras. So they write a legit ticket, and it does go on your record. So, keep that in mind if you're in Hannibal, Missouri. Just creep through that town at 10 mile an hour because, but anyway, I got that one fault. I was not about to let a red light ticket, running a red light, be on my record. So we got TVC Pro Driver on that one. They did a great job. with that one. They fought it. They fought it. They fought it. We went to court like 6 times on that. And I'm telling you right now, TVC Pro Driver, um, like at $18 a month, how many months would it take to pay for a lawyer to go to court for you for 6 times? I mean, this dude was great. He would go to court. If the cops showed up, he'd just say, we need an extension. We got to we're hunting evidence or something like that. And then he was like, if the cop doesn't show up, we're going to get it thrown out. So finally, the 6th time, the judge was like, no, we're not going to extend it. Like you've had literally like you've had like 4 months to get everything together. You got to get together. And, so the judge, and the lawyer talked it out. The district attorney and the lawyer talked it out. And they got it reduced to parking a semi truck on a shoulder for more than 4 hours parking ticket, which is an expensive parking ticket. It's $262, I think is what it was. It's not cheap, but I'd rather pay that $260 and the running the red light ticket was $130. So basically I paid $130 more to not have it on my record. It's a parking offense. It doesn't even go on my driving record. Well worth it to me. I figured by the time I paid the extra fine and what I paid a TVC Pro Driver every month, I stole that. That was gravy. Let me see where I'm at. Chili Dog, yeah, man, transport was just wondering if when I get out there in a few months, if I should expect something to happen and have to deal with points. No, man, protect that CDL. That's your money. So protect it, Look into TVC Pro Driver. Now, I know we get a discount. That's why I only pay $18 a month for it. I think regularly it's about $30 a month, but we get a group discount over here because, everybody signed up on it. And, but no, man, just, watch your ass. If you go to work for a company and, like your truck is not DOT legal, don't put it on the road. Make them fix it. Like it's, if they tell you to put something illegal on the road, tell them I need that in writing, and then immediately quit and get a lawyer because you got money in the bank right there. I'm not litigious, but I am litigious when it comes to safety. You know what I mean? Like if I see a safety defect on my truck, it's done, man. I'm off the road. We're getting it fixed. I got kids. My wife and kids are on the road, driving down the same road these trucks got a ride on. And, I just couldn't imagine having to wake up with myself every morning if I took out, an innocent family. Like, that's not a life you want. So, get the safety right, and you should be okay. Now, if the DOT wants to nitpick something and find something, they look hard enough, they can find something. If you're nice and you're respectful and your equipment is reasonably in shape, they're probably not going to break you too hard with it. The dumbest thing I ever got written up for was I went over an 8-hour break by 1 minute. The 30-minute rule. I went over by 1 minute and a cop wrote that up. That annoyed the hell out of me. That one got me, and then I had another one that wrote me up because I had a lug nut missing, and I don't argue with that one. I had a lug nut missing. I shouldn't have had a lug nut missing. Like it's one of those things. I'd had some tires replaced recently, and I wasn't watching. And obviously I wasn't doing that part of the pre-trip correctly because I should have caught that. And, it was a good eye-opener. It was a good eye-opener for me because, I was like, okay, you can't just glance over things. You got to actually be in the details like the pre-trip is expected to be. You can't just like pop the hood and go, yeah, it all looks good from here. You actually got to check the oil. You actually got to check the coolant. You actually got to push on those belts to see if they're within tolerance. You actually gotta, you got to do the things you gotta do. So, but do that. Pre-trip is big. I say at least once a week, maybe twice a week, preferably when the weather is the best. When it's pouring ass rain, I'm not gonna say get out there and do it, but about once, twice a week, do a thorough pre-trip. Learn what your truck looks like from the underside. Don't be afraid to get under that thing and look at it. Like, you want confidence in your equipment, and if you don't know what you got, it's hard to be confident in it. So, once a week, I go through this thing with a fine tooth comb, and usually more than once a week. Tire pressures. I check tire pressures multiple times a week with a gauge, not just kicking them. But then if you do a really good one, then when it's raining out, or it's snowing out, you don't have to do check your brake, thickness of your brake pads when it's pouring rain. You're like, okay, I did that 2 days ago. I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure we're still good. So, I don't know what this guy's doing. He pulled right up to the front of my truck really fast. Okay, he's backing in over there. At first I thought he was expecting me to move, and I'm like, dude, you could swing that with an 80-foot trailer. Let's see here. Where am I at? Chili Dog says thanks for the tip. Yeah, that TVC Pro driver, man, that's money. That's money. When you having a CDL is a weird way to make money, in my opinion. You have to deal with the public. You're on public roads, and the police can take your livelihood, and you have to follow a lot of laws. You think the average guy that goes to work here at the distribution center, when he goes to work, he's not as liable as I am. You know what I mean? He doesn't work outside in the public. So yeah, you got to protect that thing. And you can expect with the prepaid lawyer thing, you're not going to get Johnny Cochran on the scene. You know what I mean? If you have an accident where you injure someone, you're probably going to want your company, or you're probably going to want to try to retain a better lawyer maybe. But for what they do, fighting tickets and stuff, that's what they do. They're good at it. Most of it, and what they do is they have lawyers in every little region that represents their clients. Those lawyers know the district attorneys. They know the judge. They go to court, they're there all the time, so they know what to expect. And the judge knows they're going to keep asking for a continuation. If the cop doesn't show up, they're going to want it thrown out, that type of thing. Let's see. Jamie Ford in the house. What's up, Jamie? Got 10 in the house at 3:45 in the morning. Shout out to everybody. 10 in the house, 11 likes. If you haven't hit the like, hit that. If you haven't subscribed, maybe, think about that. Couple channels in here. Dirty Broke's got a channel. Check him out. That's good content. Jamie Ford says, is it a FMCSA law or state DOT law about using the far left lane, or do certain states have a law? Is it just 6-lane highways? Yeah. Well, if it's a 4-lane highway, you shouldn't be in the left lane unless you're passing. But no, that's a state law. The DOT, federal DOT, doesn't care what lane you're in. I guess, I don't know. Maybe they do, but from what I know, they don't. It's all about the. Man, that's a set of headlights right there. That boy upgraded. Let me tell you. I can't get out of it. Jesus Christ. Oh, that's the new Mac. What a set of headlights in that joker. That was like burning my retinas. But yeah, that's state laws. It's normally on a 6-lane highway. I got mine in Knoxville on 640. I I'd been behind these two guys on I-40 coming from like North Carolina westbound, and I was behind them then. I couldn't get around them then. They were just, I was empty, or I had a load that was empty, almost empty. It was like a 10,000 pound load maybe, if I remember correctly. And every time we would come to a hill, the one guy that was passing would get slowed down, so they'd be door to door again. And it was like, it had been going on for 15, 20 minutes, and I'm like, I could go around these jokers, and I could then be way on down the road. So I just decided I've had enough. I stepped out there. I swear I stepped out there 10 seconds, 15 seconds after I stepped out there was a state trooper sitting in the middle. And I was like, son of a, and the guy in the middle lane slowed down so I could get over finally after the cop had already started to pull out. And I'm like, well, thanks, guy. Like, now you're going to slow down and let me over. Like, why didn't you get back in line the 20 minutes you couldn't get around that guy, I mean, they had trucks backed up behind them like crazy. There was other trucks that had already passed them, I mean, it was just one of those things, man. It was a Charlie Brown situation, I just had the cloud over me that day. Tim says, new to the channel. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate you coming in. Subscribe if you could, please. Hit that like button, everybody. Tim says, have you driven tanker or flatbed? Yeah, I've done flatbed, no tanker over here. What are your thoughts on those different freight types? Here's how I break it down. I'll give you my little synopsis on like freight. If you can do flatbed and you don't mind being out in the weather and you can get good at flatbed, I'm talking like you can put a tarp on and you can strap some crazy load down and like a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was flatbed, I was not very good at tarping. I was not very good at strapping. And that's why I got out of it, because you got to be good at it. If not, you're not going to make as much money. Flatbed typically pays more, but if you're slow at strapping and you're slow at tarping, that's where your money's made. You got to be good at it and you got to be fast at it. And if you're not fast and good at it, flatbed's probably not where you need to be, because you're going to tie up too much time running around trying to do, trying to strap and tarp. You're going to tie up too much time. It's not getting paid like you would be getting paid if you were driving. Yeah, you get paid to tarp, but you don't typically get paid to strap. So the securement part of it, if you pick up a load and you take 2 hours to secure it, that's like 2 hours you're not getting paid for. So just something to keep in mind. My opinion, if you're going to be a company driver, dry van. Dry van's the way to be if you're going to be a company driver. Because you get paid by the mile. You need miles. You don't want to, like grocery warehouses, you don't want to be sitting around these places. If you're an owner-operator, I think grocery's the way to be, because you get paid a little bit more and the money comes to you. Like if you're a company driver as a reefer driver, I think the companies keep too much of it. They don't pay you enough for the hassle. And tanker, I don't know enough about tanker to know how it works, but if tanker is something in your area that is very productive and it pays well and there's a lot of it and you want to get into it, step into a company and see how you like it for 3-6 months. Just my thoughts on freight. Let's see here. My 2B says, I love your attitude. Thank you. I'm surprised I'm this chipper this early in the morning, especially with no caffeine. I'm going to imagine here in about 2 hours, I'm going to crash and I'm going to be a pain in everybody's ass for the rest of the day. But hopefully by then we'll find a vending machine, or we can get back to the little truck stop I stayed at last night. They closed on me. I thought it was a 24-hour operation, and I said, I'll get up and go get me a coffee or a Mountain Dew in the morning. And I got up this morning and the windows were boarded, and I kind of thought it was funny. They got these like roll down things like in New York City, you know how they roll that like garage door looking thing down. They got that over the doors and windows at this place. I thought that was interesting. But I think I'm actually about ready to hop off here. My throat's getting sore. Chili Dog says, thank you for the good advice. Cash problem, man. That's what we're about here. We like spreading the knowledge. You know, you shouldn't have to learn everything the hard way. I certainly haven't. You know, I've tried to learn from the people in the game. You know, longer than me, but I'm not saying I'm always right. I saying a lot of my recorded videos. You know, it's just one person's opinion. You should, you know, YouTube is full of information. You should compile information from different people to get the best what's right for you. But yeah, I think I'm gonna hop off here, guys. Appreciate everybody coming in. 11 in the house. I can't believe I get 11 in the house this time of day. 12 likes. I appreciate all that, guys. Tim says, thank you, sir. Appreciate your thoughts. Good points. Yeah, no problem, Tim. Appreciate everybody coming in. Tim came in. Chili Dog, GI Man. Who else came in here? Had some good people. Dirty Broke. Everybody go check out Dirty Broke. That's a good channel over there. He delivers fuel for loves. Carlos Danger. My Tubi. Matt in the house. Skylar Peters was in here. He may be at work by now. Or he was at work. Yeah, he was doing that food service game. Thanks for delivering all that food for us there, Skylar. We appreciate that. I love me some fast food, so you got to appreciate the people that do what you like or bring you the stuff you like. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Why not? You know, like the public sure as hell ain't gonna thank us, so we got to thank each other, I guess. But anyway, guys, I'm out of here. Before I lose my voice, I don't want to be scratchy voice all day. Appreciate it, guys. Take care of each other out there. Until later.